Welcome to the Live Wide Open podcast. I'm your host, Randy B. Ramirez, the high performance mentor, and I'm here to lead you to become the best version of yourself. This show raises the bar for all the motorsport enthusiasts. Holding it wide open is just what we do. Being a great person is who we are, and living our lives to the fullest is the lifestyle that we choose. Listen, brother, if you've never fallen on your face, then I'm sorry to tell you, but the truth of the matter is that you're not fucking pushing hard enough, dog. You see, you don't learn shit from winning easy. You don't learn shit from having it easy. You don't learn shit from never falling. You learn when you fail. You learn when you bleed. You learn when you fucking crash. You see, like in those moments, in the moments that are the hardest, when we feel like quitting, but we don't, and we keep going, we get right back up and we go once again, those moments is where the biggest wisdom lives. In those moments is where the biggest lessons come from. In those moments is where we learn the most and become better men. You see, I've just be completely transparent with you. Lately, I've had moments, a lot of fucking moments, where I felt like quitting on my 1,000-day journey. Right? Like, I'll be straight up with you. Like, I had some fucking moments where I'm like, oh, fuck this shit. I just got too much going on. It's just too much. I had excuses after excuse. Oh, because I don't have this. Oh, because it's just too much going on. Or I just rather focus on my family and I'm like, yo, what the fuck is going on here? Like, literally have had to challenge myself lately because I've been wanting to not do this anymore. Right? And I literally took me, and this is all clicking, right? And when I've jotted on my notes to outline this episode, I wanted to make sure that I captured this. Like it all came together after a writing session that I had. Like, I hadn't wrote in 2 months, and I went writing on Friday night, and I came back and it just all clicked. I was like, yo, this is just part of the level up. Like, it always gets hardest right before the level up. And then I'm here looking at it and I'm like, yo, I'm about to hit 500 days. I'm about to hit the halfway point. Of course, I'm being challenged. Of course, my mind wants me to quit. Of course, it wants me to play small. Of course, it doesn't want to extract the lessons. Of course, it just wants to focus on the failures. Of course, it just wants to fucking like focus in and magnify on the things that I'm not doing right instead of highlight all the things that I've been doing and have grown me into the man that I am today. And then it all clicked, and I'm like, yo, what the fuck? Like, you didn't come this far, only come this far. This is part of the process. Like we're about to hit the biggest milestone on this journey yet. We're about to hit that halfway point. After this, it's fucking over the hill. Like, and you damn well I'm gonna come into this 500-day mark feeling fired up, feeling driven, feeling like recommitted to the purpose, right? And so every single one of those failures that you've had, every single one of those tough moments, every single one of those of those tiny little moments, because they're all built up on all these tiny little moments who add up to those decisions that we end up making, because they build the belief in those tiny moments to the decision you end up making, whether you're gonna go or not, whether you're gonna get back up or not, whether you're gonna fight one more time or not, whether you're gonna have the willpower to go fucking do that thing that you didn't want to do, but you had committed to doing. You see, in those moments is when you gain the biggest lessons. And that's the reason why today I am at where I'm at. Because without those crashes, I'd have nothing to stand on. Like, without me going through the pain, I would have never grown. Like, it's just like they say, diamonds form under pressure. Well, you need to fucking pressurize these things into a massive amount of pressure in order to create a badass diamond. Diamonds are built under pressure, right? And so failure is your feedback, dog. It's not a finality. It's not like when you fail, it's not like, oh, okay, well, this is not gonna work out. No, if it really means something to you, then take the fucking L. And what I mean by the L, yes, take the loss, but take the L and pull out the L, pull out the lesson. Like, every failed attempt carries intel with it. Look for the lessons. Look for the thing that it's trying to teach you. Like, what to do and what not to do. Those are two things that you can come out of minimally from every failure, from every crash, from every failed attempt, from every lesson that we go through. What to do and what not to do. Minimally, you can pull those two things out. It's like related to building a car, right? Or let's say tuning a car, right? Maybe the first time you go out to tune a car that you're learning, maybe you might blow the head gasket, right? Like, I know I've put sometimes, I specifically know a time where I put too much of a hot tune-up and I had too much boost, I had a little bit too much timing, and it would have been all right unless the happened is that I was bouncing off the limiter. And when I was bouncing off the limiter, because I was fucking around, eating shit, that lesson turned into a failure, right? And at the beginning, I was like, oh, fuck, it sucks, you know? But then, you know what? That was just data, right? That taught me that, hey, if I'm gonna go fuck around, if I'm gonna go beat on my truck really hardcore, this was back when I first started tuning, I needed to back up on the hotness of the tune, right? If I'm gonna go bounce the limiter, then lower the RPM. If I'm gonna go bounce the limiter, then lower the boost. If I'm gonna go bounce the limiter, lower the timing, right? Those are three things that are big critical components to blowing that head gasket, right? And so the next time what happens is that you tune smarter, right? And so if you apply the same principles to everything that you go in your life, right, you become a man who grows. You see, men who avoid failure avoid growth. Men who avoid the pain, they never become more because they're too worried about not feeling the pain, and because they don't realize that going through the pain is what gives you the gain. You gotta go through the pain in order to get the gain. And that has transpired for me in my life to gaining and to building wins from out of nowhere. This is why I push myself so hard. This is why I train like I train. This is why I work these long hours. This is why I do what I do, why I dedicate my life to high performance and becoming a better man for me, for my family, for you, for everyone around us, because I truly believe that we're meant to become the best version of ourselves and then share it with the world. But if you avoid failure, if you avoid the hard things, if you avoid the discomfort, if you avoid where you learn the most, then how are you going to level up? You see, quitting is the only real failure, bro. If you quit, bam, game over. That's it. The lesson dies with you. You quit so you don't try again. Like, that's it. And you leave it stung. It becomes a fucking wound in you, right? But on the other hand, if you keep moving, if you get right back up, every loss compounds into wisdom. Every time that you get back up, you build that confidence back up. Every time that you get back up, you build the belief in yourself back up. Every time that you have a failure and you turn it into a lesson and you apply it to grow and become better, you become better as a machine, as a warrior. You become better in your mind and your body and your spirituality and your relationship and your hobbies and everything that you apply this to, right? Literally works with everything. Like, just think about it. Let's relate it back to racing. We love motorsports here, right? So let's relate it back to racing. The guy, let's say you're in a track, right? And you're a circle track. The guy who keeps showing up lap after lap after lap and goes and learns the track better than everyone else and is going out there putting laps. He might not be the fastest right at the beginning, but he's there putting laps and he's memorizing and he leaves the track and he's studying the course in his mind and he's playing the video game of the damn track and all those stuff. And he's literally putting the hours, putting the laps. Eventually, he's going to become better than the guy who might have got the fastest lap, right? But only did 1 or 2 laps. Right? Eventually, the other guy's gonna outperform him because he puts in the work, right? He builds his capacity. He builds his I guess performance. He builds his level of the way he performs. Instead of just relying on his talent like the other guy probably is, right? The other guy is building his resilience because he keeps showing up. You see, winners aren't the ones who never fail, bro, who never fall. Winners aren't the ones who never fall on their face. It's quite the opposite. Winners are the ones who refuse to stay down, who refuse to quit. They refuse to not get back up. They refuse to stay down. They refuse to let that be the end. That's not how winners are forged. Winners are forged by getting back up. Winners are forged for not giving up. Winners are forged for saying, okay, this is what I extract from it. Winners are forged by saying, all right, now I know what to do. Now I know not what to do. Now let's go at it again. Winners are forged by refusing to stay down. You see, the warrior's process, like the something that you can apply to your life right now, it's all about fall, learn, adjust, and try again. Right? Like like look at it as like a growth loop, right? Look at it as the warrior's process to your next level up, right? You need to be able to try, and in that trying, you will probably fail. But once you fail, you can adjust, and then you can go ahead and repeat it again. So try, fail, adjust, repeat. And if you do that over and over and over again, you're gonna fucking get better. You're gonna level up. You're gonna outperform those people around you, because here's the fucking candid truth, and I'm part of it too. right? When it feels uncomfortable, you don't want to get back up. When it feels like embarrassing, you're like, oh, why should I do it again? When it feels like it's super hard, you're like, oh, but I'm not even gonna I'm not probably gonna make it happen, right? But those thoughts right there, if you let those creep into your self-conscious, those are the same thoughts that will hold you back. It's like when I'm training for an Ironman, like, and let me put that out there, Ironman 70.3. Right? And those of you that are not familiar with it, Ironman is the full fucking distance, the big badass one. Like I'm training for that, right? And so right now I've been doing the Ironman 70.3, which is half of Ironman, right? And I'll put that out there. It is what it is, you know. I've only been doing half Ironmans, and I've done 4 so far, and I was training for the 5th one, right? And I was training for the 5th one for December, right? And what happened was that my schedule has got so busy, right, over this last couple months, that like I've literally burnt myself out. I've been trying to work too much. I've been trying to put the podcast too much. I had to back down on social media, my training. I've been doing strength training. I've been doing triathlon training. That's why I haven't been riding. I stopped working on the Camaro. I had the things around the house that I have that are unfinished, like spending time with my wife, spend like a lot fucking going on. And literally, I wasn't been able to put the sessions in that I've been needed to, and haven't been able to get to where I would have been needed to be right now in order to crush come December in 2 months with a fucking personal best record, right? And so what happened was that, you know, I was on my head and I was like, oh, fuck, this is not gonna happen. It is what it is. And then I just finally accepted it, right? I was like, yo, this is part of the process. I need to fall, right? I need to learn, I need to adjust, and I need to try again, right? And so my process right now, what I adjusted, what I learned, right, after I fell, because in my fall, is that I got burnt out, right? Is that, you know what? The December race, we're gonna put it as a little milestone. We're gonna put it as a goal. We're gonna put it as something that we're shooting towards, right? And I'm gonna keep training, right? And I'm gonna back off a little bit on the hardcore training so that I can actually make it through the week, so that I can be productive, so that I can have energy, so that I can actually have enough like rest to produce, right? And if by the time December comes around, I'm feeling hyped, I'm feeling good, and then I'll sign up for the race. And if it doesn't, then I'll keep training and I'll fucking do it next year. But that was the reality. That was the lesson that I was able to pull out of this fall, which is the burnout moment that I had, right? And when I say burnout, is that I was literally burnt out. Literally, fucking, the weekend was coming up and I slept the whole fucking day because I was going so hardcore Monday through Friday. And then Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, I was training twice a day, right? With strength training in the morning, Ironman training in the after work. And then Saturday, I'll do a long swim. Actually, I take that back. Friday after work, I would do a long swim. Saturday, I was doing a long bicycle ride because the bicycles are the longest out of the 3. And then Sunday, I was doing a long run, and I was literally burning myself out. I wasn't getting. And so what I learned is that at the moment that I am right now, with my schedule, with everything that's going on, with the amount of work hours that I'm putting in, like training that hardcore, it's becoming something that I cannot sustain. And the reason why I cannot sustain it is because I'm not being able to get enough rest, right? And so it's okay, you know, I learned, right? I adjusted, and now we try again. It doesn't mean I'm backing off of my training. Old me would have been like, oh, you know what? I might not race in December, so fuck it, I'm not gonna train anymore. No, I'm just gonna stick to strength training. I'm gonna build some muscle. But now I'm like, yo, no, I'm gonna continue building muscle, and I'm gonna continue training for the Ironman, and you know what? If the time comes around and I feel like I'm ready, I'll fucking race. And if it doesn't, I'll continue fucking training. And so every swim, every fucking bike ride, every run is literally teaching me something because I'm willing to continue going despite it being fucking hard. And so I'm learning how to pace myself, learning how to breathe better, I'm learning how to fuel myself, I'm learning how to rest more, something that I have a lot of trouble with. And so all those bad decisions have literally become lessons to this next breakthrough that I'm working on. And so the man that we're building, the warrior, the fucking guy who's gonna become unbreakable, right? He needs to be able to fall on his face. You need to be able to accept it. You need to be able to come to terms when, yo, I'm gonna fall, but fall forward. And stop fearing the fall. Start expecting it as part of the process. Like that little shift right there, it helped me overcome this little grind that I went. This little hump, this little, I guess, speed bump that I was in, right? And it all clicked after I had a writing session because it cleared my mind. I literally had like this de-stress come off of me, and I was like, yo, fuck this. We're going to continue training. We're going to continue doing this. We're going to continue showing up. And if it doesn't race, then we don't race. But at the end of the day, when we come to the race, if we know that we continue training, we might have backed up on the intensity a little bit in order to last with our schedule, to have the energy to still make it through the weekend and have productive weekends. But we're still going to keep going. We're gonna continue the fight. And so my question to you today, brother, is this: where in your life, have you labeled something as a failure, right? Because I was labeling my training as a failure because I'm like, yo, I'm not gonna be able to make it like this. This sucks, I'm the whatever. And so I made it a failure because at the rate I was going, I was not gonna be ready to get a personal record on December's Ironman. When the reality was that I just needed to look for the lessons, and I just needed to continue training, and I just needed to continue taking it day by day. And I backed up a little bit of intensity. So where in your life are you labeling something a failure when in the reality, it's just a lesson that you needed to grow from? And then my challenge to follow through with that question is I want you to take one past failure that you had recently, right? And I want you to write down the lesson. And then I want you to commit to applying that lesson onto your next attempt. Don't let the pain go to waste. Use the pain to transfer the lesson into your mind, body, and spirit. Use that shit to become a fucking warrior. Because, brother, falling down, it doesn't disqualify you. Quitting does. So don't you fucking quit. Stay in the fucking race, hold it wide open, and give it all you got. Because the man who refuses to quit will eventually win, dog. Yo, I'm driving the checkered flag deep into the ground, and I'm calling every wide open warrior who refuses to accept nothing but the best in their life. It's time to break free from everything that's been holding you back and become the badass motherfucker that you were meant to be. The Live Wide Open movement, this is the mission that God has tasked me with, and helping you level up is exactly what I'm here to do, bro. Hit that subscribe button so you never miss another episode. And if today's message hit home, my brother, then it's time to contribute and do your part to the growth of this mission, bro. Send this podcast episode to another brother. Send this podcast episode to another motorhead, to another gearhead, to another warrior, to another man who's on the same mission as we are, because a better life for our family is non-negotiable. You have people counting on you, dog, and it's time to get to fucking work. Let's go.